Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we got some good old chibi reviews. The war for the internet gets worse. Digital ID is becoming mandatory worldwide. You gotta just love this bullshit that they're passing. God, genuinely, I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait 20 fucking years from now when all these fucking retards are out of government and it's taken over by a whole bunch of fucking like Gen Z and all of these stupid laws that Gen Z right now fucking despises are just immediately abolished. Why? Because they are the most ridiculous fucking laws in existence. Like, what is this genuinely? Let's get into it.
Florida has launched two lawsuits that aim directly at Nutaku, a massive hub for anime games, and SegPay, a payment processor known for serving adult platforms.
This is such a joke, genuinely. Holy shit, what a massive fucking L for Florida, in my opinion. Like, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Like, this is so stupid. Instead of tackling the actual issues that, you know, the people actually care about, the actual issues that, you know, the people are complaining about, like the housing market, the fact that, you know, it's very hard to find a job nowadays and all that shit, the fact that the standard of living is slowly going down because shit is just, you know, shit just is highly unaffordable. Instead of tackling all that, what do? Oh, let's go after fucking anime websites. What a joke.
Then we have Brazil enacts age verification law mandating digital ID. Then we have Australia's under 16 social media ban that could extend to Reddit, Twitch, Roblox, and even dating sites, but it doesn't just stop there. We also have this extending to gaming platforms like Steam, and Valve has yet to make a comment on the situation.
The fact that Valve is literally just bending the knee of these companies, just like, nope, we're not even gonna bother to try to fight back. No, why would we? Genuinely, why would they try to like do anything about this? You know what they'll do instead? Instead, they'll make it harder for you to push out like NSFW games. Instead, like, it's so stupid. Like the new rule that they put out where it's like, oh, if you want to update your NSFW game with the free update, nope, you can't do that anymore. Now your updates are mandatory DLCs instead of patches. They're mandatory DLCs. It's like, what a joke, man.
But once again, it doesn't just stop there. Among the list of different restrictions from Australia's under 16 law, you have GitHub that's going to be restricted, a cloud-based platform for sharing software code, and
why the fuck is GitHub being restricted? That literally makes no sense. It's for coding. What? Oh my god, the fucking code, it's too curvy, too sexy? What a joke.
To be completely blunt, anyone that is aware of GitHub knows kids are not using GitHub. The real reason why this in particular is being restricted is to restrict adults from potentially making their own software or code or whatever to get around digital ID or to try to keep their privacy private, for instance.
This is such a joke, genuinely. Let's not get into the fact that, you know, fucking, whatchamacallit, goddamn, let's not get into the fact that some states are now making it illegal to use a VPN, and if you're using a VPN, you could face up to a $500,000 fine or jail time. Like, what is this bullshit, man? Like, what is this fucking weird ass 1984 shit that they're trying to push, genuinely?
So it's very obvious that what this government, in particular Australia, is doing is not about think of the children or protect the kids, it's all about control. But let's go one step further. We also have this: the EU still wants to scan your private messages and photos.
Oh, I think they already pushed this shit. Like, bro, people are already getting arrested for this. Like, I think some guy, I think a COD Daily covered this. Like, some dude that he follows quite literally got arrested for stuff that he was posting on social media, and it's like, bro, what a joke. Genuinely, what a joke. These fucking governments are so dog shit. They're so needy for control that they'll quite literally do anything to secure as much control as they can. They get an inch and then they try to take the entire world. It's fucking wild. It's like that one ex-girlfriend that quite literally, while you were asleep, would literally try to pry your eyes open without waking you up, so that way they could bypass the age the face scan lock on your phone. It's insane. Also, that way they could go and snoop through your phone and see who you're talking to, see who you're messaging, see what you're posting on social media, see who you're following on Instagram. It's like, bro, this is such a fucking joke, man.
7 member states opposing, 12 member states supporting, 8 member states undecided. I'll get into this in just a moment. Then we have the Prime Minister of UK, which straight up goes completely mask off and is more or less saying like, okay, I created the problem, here is the solution to the problem, but I'm not going to fix the problem. I'm just going to control and invade your privacy, so to speak. And you can obviously see just from the community note that was added here, people are not happy.
Let's see what he tweeted. I know you're worried about the level of illegal migration into this country. Digital ID is another measure to make it tougher to work illegally here. What a joke. So instead of just deporting them, you're going to enact mass censorship. Got it. Dude, these fucking people in government are such a joke. Like, honestly, I'm amazed the UK hasn't gone Nepal 2.0 on their government and just like had a revolution. It's fucking wild, dude. Like, it's sad to see, like, Nepal was able to do it and whatnot. And it's fucking wild that that's the road the entire world is heading down. You're going to start seeing, in my opinion, down the line in the future, more and more countries doing exactly what Nepal did, you know, turning against the masses, essentially telling the government they've had enough and essentially getting rid of those in power by force via a revolution of some kind. And it's just insane that, you know, the governments are seeing this. It's like, bro, they see what's happening in Nepal, and instead of being like, oh shit, we should probably change our policies, change where we're pushing things so that way this doesn't happen to our country, they're instead going like, it won't happen to us. The masses are too stupid to do anything like that. It's like, that's what the government, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's exactly what the government of Nepal thought. That's exactly what they thought as well. Oh, the masses are too stupid. They won't do this. Next thing you know, they're flying One Piece flags, fucking, and whatnot, and having a little revolution in their country. And this is exactly what's going to happen to every other country that's doing these stupid things. Let's see here. It is already a requirement to have a work visa for most people to work in the UK. Illegal migrants do not have a work visa, yet the problem exists that they work illegally, cash in hand, etc. Digital ID does nothing to stop illegal working, which this post suggests it would, and I agree. This digital ID literally does absolutely fuck all, other than, oh, this person is saying is a pro fucking Palestine, anti-Israel, gotta knock on their door real quick and arrest them. Can't have that kind of quote-unquote hate speech going around now, can we?
I mean, people are very unhappy with what the Prime Minister of UK said about pretty much controlling the public, censoring the internet, and also restricting other companies around the world as well. You have big content creators like even Asmongold, for instance, talking about this, so it's really big indication that, yes, this is kind of a talk of the town today. But obviously, in response of this that came out earlier today, we had this petition to the UK government and Parliament, which has over...
I think what pisses me off the most is that, yes, you could clearly see that the people clearly don't want this. They're signing these petitions, but guess what? The government is literally just like, we're not even going to bother looking at these petitions. We're not going to bother listening to what the people want. We're just going to ignore it. And that, I think, is what pisses me off the most, is the fact that these elected officials, elected to serve the people by the people, are quite literally just not even listening to the people that elected them into office, which is why I believe that eventually the UK is going to have its own fucking Nepal 2.0, where the people just have enough and they just start storming all these buildings and whatnot, all the government buildings, and they're just like, you know, we've had enough. You're getting out of government. And if you won't go peacefully, then you'll go by force.
over 1,100,000 signatures. And to put this in perspective, when this announcement from the Prime Minister came out earlier today, the signatures here for this petition was like around 200,000, and then within a span of like 10 or so hours, this quickly jumped over 1,000,000 signatures, which is a pretty big deal, because if you read the bottom of this here, if the actual petition has over 100,000 signatures, it will be brought up to Parliament for a debate, for basically a governmental response. Now, to kind of remind everybody, about 2 months ago, when the whole Online Safety Act happened with the UK, there was a petition that reached about like 300 to 400,000 signatures, and the UK government pretty much responded saying, we heard you, we know what you're saying, but we don't care. We are thinking of the children, protect the kids, while...
Yeah, they quite literally brushed it aside, like he's about to say. They were like, oh, protect, this is for the children. Don't you care about the children? It's for the kids. Meanwhile, before that, before the whole online fucking bullshit thing that they pushed, there was a literal bill or something like that along the lines of a bill that would quite literally allow the police to actually take action against all these gangs that are trafficking kids, trafficking children, grooming children, and God knows what else they're doing to children. And they essentially voted against that. They said, no, we can't vote for this. We can't have the police doing their job, actually going out there and physically protecting the kids. No, no, no. Instead, we'll push this little Trojan horse under the guise of, oh, this is to protect kids online. Yeah, because we all know the most harmful thing to kids is the internet, not, you know, anything that could happen to them physically in real life. Huh.
We restrict adults and freedom of expression and speech. That's pretty much what the UK government responded with 2 months ago. And obviously, since then, there's been a lot more that's happened. The boiling pot has gotten even more hot. A lot of people are not happy by any means, especially with what's happened lately. And with the overall announcement from the Prime Minister directly talking about the situation that people are very upset about, but then his solution to it is not fixing the problem, but restricting the internet and people even more, a part of the UK public. Obviously, people...
Don't you get it, Chibi? If people can't complain on the internet, then people won't know how bad it is, and people will stop complaining because they no longer have the ability to complain. So, ergo, by this fucking straight-up dictator's own logic, you know, the people aren't complaining. The solution is already going through, because you don't see people complaining anymore on the internet about immigration. Why? Because we arrested all those individuals and we threw them in jail.
Are extremely unhappy. Now, I don't ask for this very much, guys, but I think it's very important to ask this right now, especially with the context of how important this video is. Please do leave a like on it, because it will help more people become aware of what's going on right now with this situation, and more people being able to fight back against the censorship of the internet. So, once again, leave a comment, leave a like on the video, whatever you can do, share it with your friends, because more people need to be aware of what's going on, and if you remain silent and you don't talk about this and let more people become aware of it, then all your rights are going to be taken away. So that is why...
Don't worry, Chibi. I'm doing my part by reacting to this video, giving my own thoughts and criticisms, uploading it to my channel, and allowing my 30 viewers to watch it.
I am really asking you at this time. I don't normally ask, but please do leave a like on this video. So, as you can see, there is a lot that has happened in just like the last few days that I'm going to be covering in this video. So I think what's very important to talk about, I guess, is first off, what the Prime Minister here said about, you know, censorship, digital ID, age verification, everything like that. And then we're going to go back to the very beginning, what I started with first in this video. So first off, we all know what the UK has been doing. It's literally some Shimonetta 1984 type stuff. And I think at this point, nobody expected Shimonetta to be a warning. It has turned out to be more of a warning than a parody, which should have just been a parody all along. It was a parody. But the fact that you see society slipping into an area that is very similar to where, like, there's complete restriction of access to the internet. If you try to point out something that you dislike with the government or whatever, they'll censor you, they'll...
It's funny, because I'm sorry to pause randomly, but I was like, Shimonetta, that sounds familiar. Why does that sound so fucking familiar? It's that fucking anime where they quite literally banned like stuff like porn and hentai worldwide. and they quite literally have to do these weird fucking things just to this is how crazy it gets. So they have bracelets on, and I think they also have like these collars on, and if you literally start beating your meat as a dude with these bracelets on, the police come a storming, and they like arrest you and whatnot, and they arrest any type of like hentai or dojins that the people are like using to like get off. And so to be all lewd and whatnot, they have to be all weird about it. And whatnot, and like some chick wants to like draw hentai and whatnot, but she can't, because if you're it tracks your like drawings as well. So if you're drawing anything like that could be considered erotic, the thing will go off. So she has to literally use her fucking mouth to draw hentai. Like, oh my god. But yeah, I agree with Chibi. It's insane that's the world we're headed down. That's what the world is becoming, and it's just so sad.
And police officers to your door for posting a meme or anime content, or you need a license for everything. It's systematically been getting worse back to back, and there's many countries that have followed suit with this, with what happened in the UK. To start off, we got to talk about the stuff within Brazil. Brazil enacts age verification law mandating digital ID. Now, to be completely blunt, I'm not affiliated or know everything about about the inner workings of Brazil. I don't know the whole situation on the ground, but from what I've been told from people that do live in Brazil, they have told me that it's very similar to what's been going on in Australia, EU, UK, and the United States. It's a continuous thing. It's the same exact thing. It's the same rhetoric. It's the same conversation. And once again, there is clearly a global push for all these different countries within the Western world to push this censorship of the internet, to rein in the internet, to control speech, to control people from talking, to control expression through art or media.
It's wild, because it's so insane to me, because this is cool. What's funny to me about all this is that, everyone's like, oh, everyone with a semi-rational brain would quite literally look at all this 20, not even 20, like 30, 40 years ago. If this was happening 30, 40 years ago, people would quite literally be protesting and whatnot down the streets, being like, no, we're not going to allow our country to essentially become communist China with the amount of censorship that's going about and the amount of online restrictions. But nowadays, it looks like it's almost like no one's complaining about it whatsoever. People are just accepting this blindly. And it's like, bro, but people will then like criticize China for all the stuff China does when it comes to the internet and like monitoring its people, yet the entire world is now doing it as well. It's like, what? When did the entire world suddenly become communist is my question.
Yeah, whatever. There's clearly an initiative and a push to censor everything. And obviously this story is continuing. It's getting worse and worse by the day. And it's legitimately horrifying. It's sad to see still not a lot of people talking about this as much as they actually should at this point, because it is very important to bring this to light, which is why I'm bringing this to light. Even if I don't know the full understanding of everything going on, I feel like people that live in Brazil should be made aware of this, because this is something relatively recent. As you can see, this post was on September 22nd, only a few days.
I'm not gonna lie, I would go as far as to say that this should be something that people around the world know about, not just the people in Brazil, but it's like, okay, one country does this, and it's like the rest of the world doesn't know about it, but then all of a sudden their country starts doing it, and they can point at like Brazil, for example, and be like, well, Brazil's doing it, so we should do it as well. You guys see how amazing it's working for Brazil, and then they'll blindly believe it. And little do they know that during the entire time, people were talking about this in Brazil and being like, no, we don't want this, yet the government still pushed it. It's like Brazil, the entire world should know what's going on in these specific countries, not just the populace of those countries, because it would essentially allow the people to be like, okay, well, this country's doing it. We know for a fact that we don't want it in ours. And the people could start taking action by, in any way, shape, or form that they can to ensure that this doesn't happen to their country. like we've been seeing, you know, it started off in the UK. Now Australia is trying to push their same thing. Now certain states in America are trying to do the exact same thing. It's like eventually it's going to be the entire world, and there's going to be like these small places, these very like remote locations on our planet that quite literally don't enforce this type of stuff. But because it's enforced in every other major country, it wouldn't really matter. They'd still get boned because guess what? They can't see, whatever it is that they want to see, because certain things are being restricted in these other countries. And because like we saw at the start, like Nutaku, because Nutaku is being restricted and whatnot, guess what? It might end up getting restricted worldwide just because it's restricted in like America. It's the dumbest thing. It's a literal domino effect, a chain reaction.
Ago. This is a relatively new article. This isn't something that came out months ago or even a year ago or years ago. This came out only a few days ago. So this is relatively recent. So if you're someone in Brazil and all that, that was unaware of this, I'm glad I could bring this to your attention. Which, let's move into the next one. Australia's under 16 social media ban. So Australia's social media ban is pretty bad for a lot of reasons. First off, it is already passed. It's coming into law. There is legitimately at this point, I don't think there's anything that the Australian citizens really can do besides just continuously having an outcry against it, because it has already passed and it's set to come into effect by December 10th of this year.
Fines of 49.5 million in Australian currency for non-compliance. That's so fucking ridiculous.
Which is only a few months away. And so basically, if you recall everything that happened in the UK just a few months ago, think of that, but probably going to be a lot worse, because we got to think about who is in Australia. First off, Collective Shout, the originators of a lot of stuff that's happened in the last 2 months, with what happened to Steam, for instance, and Itch, and what payment processors got involved with when it came to gaming platforms. Collective Shout lives there, and it's the same country. It's obviously a country that has people that probably have these same exact ideals, especially since this law already got pushed through, and it's coming into effect on December 10th. So get ready for that. If you are in Australia, get ready for a lot more restrictions than you already had. But the thing is, it's not just affecting stuff like Twitch, Reddit, Roblox, or dating apps. It's affecting pretty much everything. I mean, I already showed the list here. Here's just some of the few things. The fact that they're going after GitHub says enough about what Australia is trying to do here. They're not necessarily trying to protect kids or anything. They're more or less trying to rein in the internet. They're trying to stop the internet from being free. They're trying to stop people from being able to be anonymous or speak or be private, so to speak, online. They're wanting to stop.
Essentially, it's so wild, dude. Essentially, the fucking World Wide Web is quite literally just going to be the web. We're no longer going to have www. We're just going to have w dot. And it's like, bro, like, it's insane to me that so many countries are just pushing this insane fucking, these insane censorship and control tactics, just like China did when fucking, Winnie the Pooh got elected into office. This is exactly what they did. I think they've been doing this even before that, even before that, they've just been pushing out this mass censorship ever since the fucking Communist Chinese Party took over. And it's insane to me that this is essentially what the rest of the world is doing. But guess what? These people will call you the ignorant masses. They'll call you, the people who are for this will call you, they'll call you idiots. They'll say that, why don't you want this? Don't you want to protect children? Don't you want to protect kids? It's like, bro, how does this protect kids in any way, shape, or form? Next thing you know, they're going to be restricting how many hours a day you could spend on the internet. How many hours a day you could spend playing video games. Next thing you know, they're going to limit the amount of, they're going to do what China does and limit the amount of XP you can get in, let's say, in games like, WoW, or games like Baldur's Gate, or any game that uses an XP system. And they're going to limit how much you can get. So, and eventually it's like, okay, well, what's the point of continuously playing the video game if I no longer get, after like 2 hours of gaming, I don't get, the XP and level up my character? It's just wild that that's the road we're heading down. What's next? They're gonna start raiding libraries and start grabbing certain books like 1984, Pig Farm, fucking Fahrenheit 451, and start taking those books out of libraries because it's essentially showing what the world is gonna slowly become. This dystopian reality where Big Brother's always watching. It's wild, man. And I think what's even more humorous about this is like, if they do succeed and this does become some like V for Vendetta world, at the end of the day, what happens at the end of those dystopian books, there's always a small group of people that will try to rebel against everything that the government is doing, no matter what. And slowly but surely, they'll gain more and more followers, more and more power, more and more leeway, and eventually be able to topple these governments. And instead of the government trying to be like, okay, well, we want to stay in power, but we don't want to like head down that route, we'll just give the masses what they want, give the people exactly what it is that they're voting for, and not push these weird these weird power plays for censorship, for control. And it's like, it's just like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. We're just gonna start seeing more situations like what happened in Nepal around the world, like I keep saying.
And they also, the reason why they're making stuff like GitHub restricted is because they don't want you making software, code, or whatever that can get around their potential digital ID or anything like that. It's very on the nose. It's basically very masked off. I don't think anyone can, is getting fooled by this. It's just straight up a lie. They're literally spitting a lie at you. And it's like, I think everybody actually sees what they're doing. It's very despicable. And I really feel for the Australian citizens because this is going to happen, sadly. There's really no fighting back against this at this point. I mean, the only way to fight back now, I would assume, is it comes into effect and then the government basically just instantly fights back against it, or the people instantly fight back against it, and then it gets repealed or something. That's my only assumption at this point that can happen. But obviously, I need to talk.
Or the people in government who push this all get replaced by the next generation of people who never wanted this to begin with, and then they repeal it. But unfortunately, that's the much longer route.
About the EU stuff, which is the fight chat control. Now, I covered this a while ago, about a month ago. You might recall I covered a few countries that were opposing different things when it came to restriction of the internet, but let me get everybody up to speed. So, what this is this is tracking the individual countries that are in the EU that are opposed, supporting, or undecided for basically monitoring 24/7 surveillance of your private messages and internet traffic and knowing what you're doing. Pretty much just invading your privacy. That's literally what this law in effect is trying to do. And this chat control proposal mandate would scan all private digital communications, including encrypted messages and photos and stuff like that, which is obviously kind of like wow. It's a very big invasion of privacy. And at this time, these are the 7 countries that are, as you can see here, opposing the said law, chat control. These are the countries.
Damn. W Austria, W Czech Republic, W Estonia, W Netherlands, W Luxembourg, W Finland, and W Poland. Holy shit. Poland makes sense. Poland makes sense because it's where all the coders and all the fucking femboy coders are. So it makes sense they don't want their shit being fucking watched and being constantly supervised.
Countries that are fighting for people's privacy. As you can see here, you can pause the video and read it for yourself. But I'm glad to see Poland here, actually. I'm very happy to see that. But if you recall, when I last...
Shavy, you coward. Show who's in favor. Oh, he does show. Okay, great. Never mind.
Germany and Belgium was actually a part of the opposed side. But they are no longer a part of the opposed side. They are on the undecided side. And
Germany, you got some major fucking balls to want to push something for that essentially invades privacy. I'll go there, given what Germany did during World War II. It's fucking amazing that they're going for the, yeah, let's invade people's privacy route. Given how Nazi Germany quite literally invaded people's privacies, if they so much as suspected that you were hiding someone there, they would immediately kick your door down and search your house. Insane. I thought Germany would be the leading nation of like, nah, we went down that rabbit hole before, and look how that turned out for us. But no, no, no. Germany's now undecided. Fuck right off, Germany.
I think that's pretty sad to see and very concerning because Germany's obviously a pretty big country, and the fact that it went straight up to undecided from opposing should be a big red flag. Because
Sweden,
look at the countries here that's still undecided. There is some big countries here, yeah, but the fact that you have most of the actual massive, big countries within the EU.
Bro, this is fucking wild. Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Hungary. France? Really? Fucking France? Goddamn fucking Frenchmen. Bruh. You have Denmark as well. Ireland? Really? Ireland is fucking pushing for this? Why? Why is Ireland of all fucking Bro, reclaim the northern part of your country first before pushing this stupid shit. What the fuck?
Already on
Lithuania? I don't know what MT is.
supporting.
Oh, Malta. Spain? Really? Spain? Are they trying to do fucking Spanish Inquisition 2.0 Electric Boogaloo? Romania and Portugal.
Should concern everyone. So I think that this is legitimately just absolutely horrible, and I'm just making sure everybody is aware of this. Now, there is, like, some information here, like, if you click, let's say, on a, you click on a random thing, they have links to the government email, how you can call them and stuff, and talk about the situation. This is a very nice site that will allow you to figure out and contact your local representative. I'll link this in the description.
Essentially, annoy them enough so that way they fucking oppose it. Call them enough time. Honestly, fuck it. Time to use a Nintendo strats in our favor. Annoy them enough so that way they fucking vote no, and they become part of the opposing states. Call them up, do what Nintendo did with the patent office, annoying them every single day, being like, no, we don't want this, you should be opposing this, and whatnot, and constantly keep doing that.
For those that want to call their form of government or whatever to stop their internet from being basically censored. So link is in the description. But let's move on to the next thing. So now we need to talk about Florida suing adult game platform and payment processor over alleged violations of state digital age verification law. This one is just insanity to me because at first glance, when you look at them suing a payment processor, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was good news because, like, we have all seen a lot of bad news when it comes to payment processors in the last few months and years actually at this point. And when you hear that Florida is suing one, you're like, oh, it's probably good news. But in reality, it's not. And the reason for that is because if you do a quick read, just even at the beginning of it, this is literally what it says. Florida has launched 2 lawsuits that aim directly at Nutaku, a massive hub for anime games, and SegPay, a payment processor known for serving adult platforms. So
that's such a joke. What pisses me off the most, I think, about that last part, SegPay, for serving adult platforms, is the fact that you literally have Visa and MasterCard going after shit like Steam while still fully supporting stuff like Fansly and OnlyFans. What a joke. What a what fucking hypocrisy coming out of Florida with this lawsuit. Holy shit. Yeah, sue SegPay and sue Nutaku, but leave fucking Visa and MasterCard alone, even though they support the 2 most fucking prolific websites for pornography known to man. Fucking OnlyFans and Fansly. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit double standard.
basically,
I also like this shit. Stand against censorship and surveillance. Let's see, I don't want to go that too far back. Stand against censorship and surveillance. Join Reclaim the Net.
So basically, Florida is suing a payment processor that actually allows adult content, that doesn't get in the way from legal purchases. Florida is suing that. They're suing that type of payment processor, which is, okay. The one payment processor that is trying to allow people to use their money freely and legally is being sued for that, which is, some pretty wild stuff. But then also you have an adult gaming platform, which houses anime games, adult games, etc., is also getting a lawsuit against it. I'm just like, oh my goodness, dude. We live in a clown world.
So
We live in
pathetic.
such a clown world. There's so many other problems going on right now in this world than this, that this doesn't even need to be a big focus. There's so much more other things going on. I don't understand why so many governments, so many people in power decided to come together.
I genuinely hope that, you know, the government, that whoever takes up this case looks at this, goes, really, and says, fuck off, Florida. I hope that's exactly what happens.
Like, we are going to censor, control, and stop you from speaking out on the internet. I don't understand. And it really irks me because there's...
Yeah, I mean, literally, YouTube came out and publicly said, yeah, we basically deleted YouTube channels, which was because they were speaking out against certain things. It's so funny, given that YouTube quite literally put out a post being like, yeah, we terminated these channels because they were speaking out against certain things that we didn't agree with. And we're essentially, we're sorry we committed an oopsie, sorry. Insert that fucking oil company, fucking that drilling company from South Park apology video in here. Sorry, we're so sorry, and whatnot. And they're like, oh, we'll give these channels back. It's like, what a joke, man. What a waste.
Nothing more important I can really talk about right now than this, because I feel like it's wrong of me to talk about anything else besides this, because this is not just, let's say, affecting me. This affects everyone. This hurts everyone on the internet, because if one country is allowed to do this, which technically has already been allowed, UK, it will be a domino effect, and we are seeing that. We are seeing that happen. Multiple countries, multiple forms of government initiating very similar laws, doing very similar things, and it's just like, I've talked about this already. When you have one thing, two things, or even three things happen back to back, you could chalk it up as a coincidence. But when it happens 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 times, it's so and so in a row, that's no longer a coincidence. It's not. It's not. And the big thing here is a lot of people are trying to play like politics with this. And they're trying to say, oh, one side's doing this, one side isn't. But the problem here is that's what these people want. They want you to fight. They want you to be at each other's throats and not look at the bigger picture of what they're doing to manipulate the public, to keep everybody distracted, fighting each other, before they can pass these type of laws. It's so gross, man. I hate this so much. And I'm just... If there is one silver lining here, I'm glad to see so many signatures for this petition against the Prime Minister and what they did today. I really, really, really hope.
I just hope these are all real signatures and not fake signatures, is what I'm hoping. Genuinely.
This goes somewhere, and the government doesn't just do a response like, we don't care. We don't care about what you say.
Like I said, if they do that, I think it's quite literally just gonna enrage the masses, and they're just gonna become Nepal 2.0.
I actually hope there is a official response and there is some pushback against this digital ID, because this will be a very bad thing. If this is allowed, this will continue to go to many different other countries. Just FYI. I'll leave it at that, though. Sorry to be Debbie Downer today and bring all this bad news, but it is very important to bring this to everybody's attention. It is probably the most important thing I can do with my platform, and yeah, that's what I'm doing it for. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Do leave a like. It does help out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it, because it helps with the algorithm, and it helps more people be able to discover, what's actually going on. But leave a comment if you want to help with the algorithm as well. Chibi out.
It's so fucking annoying, man. Genuinely. It's like the most annoying thing on the planet. Like, all this weird push for fucking censorship, all this stuff that are essentially just fucking screwing over everything. And it's just like, bro, what a joke. Genuinely, what a joke, man. I hope this like I said, man, it sucks ass that the only thing you can do is essentially hope that it doesn't go through, but at the end of the day, it's like, we know it's gonna go through. The realistic thing is to hope that, the next line of politicians you know, who are like, who the only thing you can realistically hope for is that now more people in our generation who are opposed to this start getting more involved in politics, start trying to take over politics, so that way they can essentially get into these position of powers, so that way they can then be like, yeah, these laws that we didn't want 20 years ago, yeah, we're repealing every single one of those laws and we're getting rid of them. That's the only thing that we can realistically hope for. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. Remember to believe nothing, question everything, and always seek the deeper truth, because the government is fucking lying to you about practically 99% of all the shit that they say. And be safe out there, be careful, because you never know who's out there, you never know what could happen. And I will catch y'all in the next one later.